Good afternoon, family. Thanks for checking out today's video. If you are new here, my name is Jonathan, and I created this channel as a way to record my progress as I work towards my goal of losing 300 pounds. If you'd like to join the family, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Also, click on the bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you'd like to participate on the discussion, you can join me most weekdays when I go live on YouTube around 4 p.m. Central Time, or outside of my YouTube, you can consider joining the Discord I created. There is a link for that down in the description below. Also, down in the description below is a link to a Pinterest board. That is a great place for you guys to get some ideas of the different meals and recipes that we've been enjoying, or that I've been enjoying as I work towards my goal. Today is day 921 of my 3-year challenge to lose 300 pounds. And so far, through a combination of extended water fasting and a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet, I have been able to lose 255 pounds so far. If anybody has any non-scale victories they'd like to share, I'd love to hear your non-scale victories. If you have any on-scale victories, I love hearing those as well. Today was weigh-in Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about my non-scale or my on-scale victory a little bit here in a second. If you are struggling with your diet, let us know what is causing your struggles. Maybe we can help you out. If you're succeeding with your diet, let us know what you're doing to succeed. Share your success with the rest of us. And at the end of the day, what are some things that you are doing that will make staying on your diet easier than the alternative? Let's go ahead and switch over to the main screen here. Hello, everybody. Plants Only Muncher, Cindy, thanks for checking in here. Says, awesome weight loss today and congrats on the weight loss. Yes, I am very happy with my weight loss today. If you have not gotten a chance to go check out my weigh-in video today, make sure that you do get over there. Check it out, give the video a thumbs up, and let me know how you guys are doing on that video with your weight loss. But yes, I hopped on the scale today. My weight last week was 269.4, putting me just over the 250 pounds lost mark. And then this week I hopped on the scale. I was a bit nervous about how it would go because it was my birthday this past week, and that can always cause some challenges. But I knew that I did a very good job sticking to my diet through the weekend, and was very happy to get on the scale today and be 265.2 pounds. That was a 4.2 pound weight loss since last week, bringing my total weight loss to 249.6 pounds, or 254.6 pounds, almost 255 pounds. So I'm very happy with where I'm at right now. Really happy to see 4 pounds come off, 265.2, continually pushing me to the lowest weight I've been as an adult. The last time I was 265.2 pounds, I was 17 years old. I just had my 41st birthday last week. So that is 24 years of my life, or over half of my life. I was heavier than I am right now. And even when I was, 17 and I weighed 265 pounds, I was bouncing around between 265 and 280. As I continue to lose weight, I'm going to get further and further into, how long it's been since I was 250 pounds, since I was 230 pounds. But to think for 24 years, I walked around with even more additional weight on my body than I have right now. It's amazing that I survived as long as I did, I suppose. Janet here says, awesome weigh-in. Thank you, Janet. Let's see. Williams here is asking, do I have any loose skin? I do have some loose skin. So as far as the loose skin goes, I knew that going into this that I wasn't going to be able to successfully reach my weight loss goal without increasing the amount of loose skin on my body. So there is loose skin on my body. I'm not it doesn't worry me that I'm going to have loose skin. And I know that as I lose more weight, I'm going to have more and more loose skin appear. But it still has a lot of fat in it. So I wouldn't say I have loose skin. I have sagging skin right now. And like I said, I'm not upset that I'm gonna have loose skin, especially around my stomach and my sides and on my legs and things in my chest. Like those are spots where I expected to have loose skin. The loose skin that I didn't expect to have is the loose skin in my armpits. Like that's kind of the first place I started noticing the loose skin. So it's like there's a I don't know how far I'd have to back up, but it's like right in that area right there, if you can see on the video, but just kind of underneath my armpits on both sides. I didn't expect how much loose skin was going to be there. And then the spot that surprised me the most and would be the only spot that I would say I am frustrated that I have loose skin is around my calves and my ankles. My whole life, I've held a lot of my extra body weight or extra body fat on my torso. And so my arms, my hands, my forearms, my calves, my ankles, they were never really like real fat for a lot of my life. And then for the last 2 to 3 years before starting this challenge, as my weight was getting up higher and higher above 400, and as I got into the 500-pound range, I started to get a lot of swelling around my ankles and my calves, especially my right ankle and my right calf. And so there was a huge amount of fluid buildup in my calves. It wasn't like excess fat like it is on my hips and my torso, but it still stretched the skin. And so really quickly after I started this, the swelling in my legs rapidly reduced, and then leaving a lot of loose skin around my calves and ankles. So that would be the only spot where I would say I'm, disappointed that I have loose skin. But yeah, it's going to get looser and looser as it goes. I personally believe that the way that I am eating will help reduce the loose skin. I think that there could be there could be all kinds of different factors that affect how much loose skin somebody has. But for some reason in my mind, I really feel like the lack of having salt and sodium in my diet has helped my skin and my complexion. And I feel that maybe that helps somewhat with the loose skin. But I do have some loose skin. I don't know. It's been a while since I did a photo without my shirt on, but I can see if I have an example of where my loose skin is at right now. It's going to take me a minute to scroll through the photos here. I know I had it as a thumbnail photo at one time. But even this last photo I took, I've probably lost 20 or 30 pounds since I did. Here we go. Well, So I don't know if I can pause this film. Let me see. Here we go. This is actually 5 pounds ago, 10 pounds ago. So let me pull this up, and maybe you'll better understand what I'm talking about with like under my armpits, the loose skin, and then, you know, there's loose skin. But I still have a lot of body fat on my body to go. So, but yeah, I am developing some loose skin. Again, it's the cost or the price I have to pay for the lifestyle I lived, and for as long as I lived it, you know, that I was going to have loose skin. And I'm kind of interested to see how loose I can get the skin. I actually was having a conversation with Carrie about this recently, where there were some different people talking about losing a bunch of weight and then going and having surgery to have that loose skin removed. And the couple examples that I was talking to her about or showing her, and Carrie's checking in right now. Hi, Carrie. Hope everything's going great today. That there's different levels of like how loose your skin gets, and then, you know, people have the skin removal surgery. And the last thing that I want to do, if I choose to go that path by getting the skin removal surgery, is that I want to be like super low body fat in comparison to what I'm at now. But as far as like, I truly want it to be loose skin that they're removing when they do that surgery, and not like loose skin with extra body fat. You know, I'd like to try to get the body fat off me as best I can without doing it through surgery. And I don't plan on having surgery at this point if I get to there, but who knows? So I was, the shirt I was wearing yesterday, me and Carrie were talking about this as well. And it's similar to the shirt I have on today. This nice shirt here. It's like a 3X shirt, I think, that we got from somebody who had lost some weight and was getting rid of some of their big clothing. And when I first got this shirt and the shirt that I was wearing yesterday, they were extremely tight on me. And now I've lost a lot of weight since we got these. I probably lost 40 pounds since we got these shirts. And it's incredible how nice they feel. But then I was real frustrated with myself because I didn't take a photo while wearing this shirt or the blue shirt while it wasn't fitting me comfortably, because it would have been nice to have a comparison photo wearing the same shirt, you know, wearing this shirt from 4 or 5 months ago when I got it and it didn't fit, and then have a picture of this shirt on now when it does fit. And that thought of that sparked me to go through my phone to see, hey, do I have any photos of myself in these shirts that don't fit me anymore? And then maybe I could put a side by side together. I didn't find any photos of these shirts, but I did find a shirt that I believe we still have in our house. And this is really just, yeah, whatever. It doesn't quite fit me yet. And it's probably an extra large. Who knows? This could be even one of Carrie's shirts, but it was in our house and I tried it on, and it didn't fit me at this time. I'm going to have to pull it out of the closet and try it on to see if it fits me any better now than it did when I tried it on the other day. But I need to do that more. I need to get photos of myself wearing, you know, different things, or, you know, so I have comparisons so that I can see the difference between the two, you know, when it didn't fit and now that it does fit. Karen here says, hi, family. Way to go, John. Thank you, Karen. It was awesome to get on the scale and see that weight come down. Christy M says, congrats on the weight loss. Thanks. Rochelle says, way to go. Thank you guys so much. It really does help keep me going. You know, it would have been very easy for me this past weekend to give myself a pass because it was my birthday, or give myself a pass on Saturday or on Sunday and Monday when I was in the car traveling and driving all day. And a big reason why I don't give myself that pass is because I know I have to come on here and I have to be accountable to you guys. And if I would have not lost any weight this week, nobody, you know, everybody would have been okay with that. And even if I would have gained a little bit, everybody would have been okay with that. But instead I lost over 4 pounds. So I'm really okay with that. And I hope everybody else is. But yes, having you guys motivate me and keep me accountable is a huge part of my success. It would have been so easy for me to say, you know what, it's my birthday, let's have cupcakes, or, you know, it's my birthday, I can grab something quick at the gas station on my way home. And Carrie says that green shirt was a 2X. It has a super thick fleecy lining, and that was unexpected. Yes, that was me. It was an unexpected Amazon deal, or it was unexpected to see me with my loose skin hanging out of the bottom of it. So, yeah, but the accountability has been great. And I'm really glad that, you know, that was part of the reason why I started this challenge, was to create this accountability for myself. I feel like, you know, there's only so much accountability you can hold yourself to, you know, before you give in. And then even your loved ones too. Like, many times in the past, I would try starting a diet and I would tell Carrie, hey, you know, I'm doing this thing. I'm going to Weight Watchers. I'm trying this program. I'm eating this diet. And Carrie would be super supportive. And she would be, you know, I would rely on her to be my accountability. You know, like, I told you I'm on this diet, so you hold me accountable. And your loved ones will hold you accountable for a short period of time, but they're not going to nag you about it. Like, if I went on a diet, I said, hey, hey, Carrie, I'm going to do a diet, and I'm going to try this out for a while. You know, she would have been like, yeah, let's go clean out the pantry, buy all new food, sort of like we did with this diet here. But then, over time, you know, she would support me. She'd be great. You know, you're doing great. Keep it up, you know, keep at it. But then after a month or however long I'd be doing it, I'd find a reason to have something that was off whatever diet I was on at the time. And the first time I did that, she might have called me out. She might have been like, oh, you're eating that, you know, is that part of your diet, you know? And, you know, maybe even the first couple times that I did that, she might bring it up or call it out or say something. But eventually, she's not going to continue to nag me. She doesn't want to become a source of negativity in my life. So if she sees me failing on my diet, she's not going to try to pile on me and make me feel worse about what's going on. And so then it loses that accountability. Like, it was, you know, I was able to be accountable, but then once I quit holding myself accountable and allowed myself to fall off these diets in front of her, or, you know, then it's her ability to hold me accountable reduces. And so, this says I'm offline. Try again. Am I still live? Let me know. I see my face now, so I think it works. Let me know what happened on your guys' end. But yeah, so the accountability, you know, and this is something where I had talked to a friend of ours years ago that we were talking about personal training and going to the gym. And that's kind of where this accountability mindset kind of developed for me, you know, about the, you know, because I was going to the gym, or I was making a plan to go to the gym, and you'd go to the gym and you'd work as hard as you felt like you could work yourself. But then when I started hiring a trainer and having somebody else push me to do my workouts became much more difficult, and I gained more from them because I gave somebody else that control of my actions or what I was doing. And the example I used at the time was that if I tell you to punch yourself in the leg, you're going to punch yourself, however hard you can punch yourself. But you're only going to punch yourself so hard because you don't want to damage your hand and you don't want to hurt your leg for a long time. But if you tell somebody else, hey, I want you to punch me in the leg as hard as you can, they're going to punch your leg much harder than you'd punch your own leg. And that's what I think about with accountability, with diet, and with working out, is that, I'm letting somebody else push me. I'm letting somebody else punch me in the leg by starting this YouTube channel and holding myself accountable to you guys. And it's worked great for me. There's been many times where my diet has been, not as good as it could be. And, you guys have called me out on it, or you guys have made suggestions, maybe get rid of this or change that. And it's been really awesome. Let's see. Karen here says the loose skin under the arms surprised her too. You originally thought you would have loose skin around your waist removed, but then realized the skin under your arms needed to be removed as well. Yeah. And when you watch videos or see videos, that's where they take, they cut your belly apron or around your waist. And then a lot of times they have like their pectoral skin lifted. And I imagine that helps reduce all of that kind of skin under your arms. But did you have skin removal surgery, Karen? Or is it just something that you were talking about, or you were just realizing that you would have to have that removed? Let's see. Carrie said that. Janet here says, John, you look so different than even a month ago. Well, yeah, not having the beard makes a big difference on how I look. It's kind of I need to shave again, but I'm just finally recovering from my last shaving accident though. Hopefully that's about gone or goes away by the end of the day tomorrow. But yes, I do feel like my body's changed a lot in these past 20 pounds, and just overall everything has gotten better in the last 20 pounds. And it's crazy to me, but that 20 pounds that I lost in the past few weeks or months, that is the same as me losing 40 pounds when I started this. When I was twice as heavy, I had to lose twice as much weight to see that kind of same effect. So as I go from 265 down to 220 pounds, I'm going to see even more dramatic changes in my appearance, and I'm very happy with that. So, but thanks. Let's see. Willow Cat here says, wow, man, look amazing. You've been here since the very early days. I know you have, Will Toon. It says, and you're doing so well. So proud. You wish you could say the same for yourself. Amazing, and lots of love from Scotland. Thank you, Will Toon 88 Cat. Yes, I do remember you being around from very early on. And so I really appreciate that. I mean, that's like from the original, the water fasting day, like the first couple months. So I do remember you checking in. Yeah. It's something where it's just putting consistent days together, and that's really what I've worked to do since the beginning of this, is to just try to chain days of compliance together. And the longer I can make that chain, the easier it is to add more links to that chain. But thank you so much for checking in. And it's great to have people from Scotland watching me. And I got Rosemary's from over that in that area too. All you guys are awesome. Everybody that watches me and follows along is awesome. Karen says you have not had the skin removal surgery. You had talked about it, but it is very expensive. You heard about what they do from a doctor Chef AJ has on the Feeling Fabulous Over 40 Wednesday night Zoom. Okay. So they had somebody on talking about loose skin. I think that the loose skin thing, it's tough, like it's something where many of us aren't happy with how we look in the mirror anymore. At 520 pounds, I barely looked in the mirror at my face. That was, I never shaved. I had a beard, so I never had an excuse to ever look at my face, and so, but you get to a point where you get kind of disgusted by how you look, or you get frustrated by how you look. And you do end up reaching a point where I'm happy with how I look right now, but I'm still really overweight and I need to lose that additional weight. And I know that me losing that next 45 pounds is going to be where the loose skin starts to show itself the most. And I have to be happy with that. I may never have that supermodel or whatever it is, that model body that, that people might want to go for, but I don't walk around without my clothes on very much. And so as long as I can look like a normal person, that's all I care about, is to just be able to walk around and for my kids to be hanging out with their friends and their friends to be, not to use fat as a descriptor of my kid's dad. Oh, your dad's the fat guy, right? Or, I want them to be like, wow, your dad's really skinny. Like, I don't know that will ever be a comment that anybody ever makes about me, but that's my goal. I spent 40 years or 38 years with people telling me that, dude, you're fat. And I'm looking forward for the days of somebody saying, dude, you're skinny. Like, how'd you get so skinny? And one of the things that's going to happen because of that is I'm going to have a lot of loose skin. It was a prominent plastic surgeon from the LA area that was on the Wednesday night Zoom. Okay. Yeah. It's like I said, I worry about doing it too soon as well. I think that we all have this, I want it now, I want it as fast as possible mentality. And it's just part of who we are. And I would hate to try to rush anything in this process. Like that's why I challenged myself to do this for 3 years, is because every other weight loss program or challenge or whatever I put in front of myself, I always set it up as a sprint. I always set it up as how fast and how quick can I lose the weight. And when I was developing this challenge and I was setting a timeline for how I wanted to do this, I set a timeline that was in my mind at the time when I was starting. I thought 3 years was forever away. Like I'll never, that 3 years is going to, that's a lifetime from now, and now I'm within 180 days. So 6 months, less than 6 months left on the challenge. And it's doing what I wanted it to do, it's the length of time. It's something where, I got sick of trying to sprint through the weight loss. And, when I set the 3-year goal in my mind, I was like, I was thinking that I would lose the weight faster than I have, which is crazy because the first year I couldn't possibly have lost the weight any faster. I did lose, I would say I lost as much weight as somebody my size could have lost in the first 11 months that I did this challenge. I lost 200 pounds in 11 months. And, but so my intention when I started this was I'm going to lose this weight so quick. I'm going to be 220 pounds within 2 years. And then I'm going to spend the whole last year maintaining that level of weight loss. And then I can say I've done it. I've achieved it and I've maintained it. And now I'm sitting here 921 days in going, all right, well, I'm hoping I can get to that goal by the end of the 3 years. But I still want to spend at least a year after I get to my goal, just making sure that I don't have a relapse or go back to what I was doing. But, so many diets that I've done in the past, at 921 days, I would have already started the diet, lost a bunch of weight, failed on the diet, and gained all the weight back within 900 days. I probably did that dozens of times where I would lose, 30 pounds in a month or two, and then go back to my old ways, gain that 30 pounds back in a month or two. And I probably, had I not started this challenge, maybe I would have done that 3 or 4 times in the past year. But because of this challenge, it's really helped me stay on track. Karen said that one of Chef AJ's sous chefs had the surgery. The sous chef said she lists more weight after the surgery than she never thought about losing. It set a new point for her. So I got to figure out where the word lost. Okay. So her sous chef said she lost more weight after the surgery that she never thought about losing. It set a new set point for her. Okay. So she had lost a bunch of weight, got the surgery, and then continued to lose weight after the surgery, I think is what I'm reading from that, which is amazing, which I doubt happens. I be willing to bet that the percentage of people that gain weight after having the skin removal surgery is pretty high. And the percentage of them that they gain a decent amount, like gaining 5 pounds or gaining 10 pounds is one thing, but gaining back 30, 40, 50 of those pounds, I'm sure that's incredibly frustrating on top of it, because the weight loss surgery, and maybe I'm wrong, I haven't had it done, but I feel like for some people that weight loss surgery is the final checkbox they have to tick in their itinerary of weight loss. Like they say, I'm starting at this weight and I want to get to this weight. And then after I get to this weight, I want to have the skin removal surgery. So they tick all the boxes, they get them down to get to that weight. And then they tick the boxes that allow them to get the weight loss surgery. And then they throw the list away and think that, they succeeded. And really it's not, you got to be careful with that type of thing. I realized I didn't go over food since yesterday. I can do that real quick here. Not a lot to share, but since I was out of town on Monday, we had to push our what is it? It's a menu. What is it, like the scheduled menu? We had to push our scheduled menu a day. So for dinner last night, we had Mega Veggie Chili Tuesday. Amazing. Love Mega Veggie Chili. I know I say it every time I bring it up on the screen, but this is, this is a recipe that I've been eating for as long as Will Toon 88 Cat has been watching or checking out my broadcasts. We started eating Mega Veggie Chili within a couple weeks of ending my water fast. And it was definitely a meal that I just ate it because I knew I needed to eat food. I didn't care if it tasted good or bad. So for the first couple weeks we had this, I didn't think it tasted good. And then after 2 or 3 weeks, had the same recipe, was eating a bowl of it, and I look at Carrie and I was just like, is this the same thing? Like, you called this Mega Veggie Chili, and I know we had Mega Veggie Chili last week, but this tastes way better than it did last week. And it just takes time for your taste buds to adjust. I went over it a little bit yesterday about the adaptation. You just got to give your body a chance to adjust to the new flavors. I would eat Mega Veggie Chili any day of the week. It doesn't have to be on Monday. It can be Mega Veggie Chili Tuesday, Mega Veggie Chili Wednesday. And the only downside to the Mega Veggie Chili right now is that we're getting our kids to eat it more, which means I get less of it, which is really frustrating. So anyways, that was dinner last night. It was amazing. Then this morning, surprise, surprise, our oatmeal with mushrooms, onions, and spinach, a combination of oat groats and steel cut oats, and a little table tasty on the top for flavoring. Then after breakfast, I had my broccoli. The order that I eat them has kind of changed. I was eating my broccoli before my oatmeal, and now I do it the other way. And the only reason I do it the other way is because it saves me cleaning a bowl because I already have the oatmeal in a bowl. So I eat the oatmeal out of the bowl, then I throw broccoli in the bowl, and then I eat the broccoli out of the bowl. So that's me just being lazy. Then for lunch today, surprise, surprise, we had potatoes and broccoli. But what made today's lunch exceptionally amazing was that we had gotten our order of California balsamic vinegars in last week, and I had not had the curry flavor since we had this order. So I threw in a bunch of curry vinegar in there, and it was amazing. We really like the curry vinegar that we get from California balsamics. We got one of our coworkers hooked on the sweet heat. They really love that. Keep talking about how it tastes like Chinese food. And I told them they have to rein it in a little bit though, because that vinegar doesn't grow on trees. So, but yeah, this was lunch today here. Ron here says that he's known a number of people who have either had bariatric surgery or even laser weight loss surgery costing thousands and gained most of it, if not all of it, back. It's got to be frustrating. Then Ron says dipping into skin removal surgery would be viable into me if I'd been able to maintain for a while. Like that's the thing is I want to make sure that I've maintained it, that it's not just a fluke, or it's not just this sprint that I ran that got me to that point and then then gaining all the weight back. So yeah. And as far as knowing people that have had the surgeries, the bariatric surgeries, I'm not exactly sure what a laser weight loss surgery is, but I know lots of people that I'm related to, or lots of people I've just known throughout my life that have gotten the surgery done. And I don't think that the success rate in the long run is very good. I do know a few people who have succeeded and they're still at a mostly healthy weight. But vast majority of the people that I know that have had the weight loss surgery, different, whatever it is, it's always been incredible success for a period of time, followed by catastrophic failure. The biggest thing that I think we are missing when it comes to these surgeries and things is that we're not changing the food that we're putting into our body, and you have to change the food that you're putting into your body. It's one of the only outputs that's going to affect you. The air you breathe, the food you eat, and the amount of energy you expend. That is going to be what you're made of. You're going to be you are what you eat, right? Like, and I thought about this a lot the last few days, like at 520 pounds, I was 70% body fat, like something crazy, at least. I don't even know what it is, but let's say it's over 60, over 70% body fat. If I look at my diet that I was eating, I'd be willing to bet that my calories from fat probably were 60 to 70% of my diet. It might not have been the calories it might not have been by volume, like the fat might not have been the biggest part of my diet, but by calorie, the fat was a huge part of my diet. And so, at 520 pounds, my body percentages probably matched up pretty similar to what the bags of food that I would buy from the fast food restaurants would have broken down into, as far as calories from fat, and then looking at my body's fat percentage. And so it something where these surgeries, they don't fix what you're eating. And I worry about it now based off of what I know, because I feel that volume eating is so important to my weight loss success. Being able to eat a high volume of low calorie dense foods has allowed me to lose 255 pounds. So when I hear about people shrinking their stomach or getting it bypassed or cutting it in half or doing all these things, it really scares me, because it will make it extremely hard for those people to eat what I believe is a health promoting diet. And it's just, it's unfortunate that they can do something so permanent to their body, and it can be, for some people, it's pushed on them to do something so permanent to your body when there are other alternatives. They may not be the alternatives people want to hear about, but they exist. There's options for people. Cindy here says the fat content of 70 to 80% on keto blows my mind, that people eat that way and believe that it is healthy. Oh my, I almost want to start a whole new YouTube channel where I just bash the keto and the carnivore diet. I tried it. I did. And I'm sure that other people listening to this have tried it. And if you're grossly overweight and you've lived in this world in the past 10 years, you've been pushed to eat a keto diet. Have you tried a keto diet? My cousin did a keto diet. He lost 60 pounds. Well, how about now? Is that cousin still 60 pounds down? Or did he sprint his way to 60 pounds of weight loss and then gain it all back? Yeah, it's hard. Like, and and Ricky says he hasn't tried keto. And I guess I have to say I never officially did keto. You know, I did low carb, Atkins dieting back in the 2010. That was definitely my mindset. And then Carrie says, Carrie says that I'll have to settle for hate watching those videos. Yes, I do. I hate watching these videos of people talking about the carnivore and the keto diet. And it's just that snapshot of time, you know, like, sure, they had great success for that snapshot of time, but where are they 5 years later? Where are they 10 years later? Are they still on their diet 921 days in? That's what I want to know. I want to know somebody who has checked in and said, hey, this is what I'm eating, and I've stuck to my diet for 900 days on this keto carnivore diet. Everybody I see, and maybe, you know, I'm sure there's examples. I'm sure that I could get all kinds of links to different channels. But many of the weight loss channels that I have seen or watched the videos of in the past 6 months are all channels that were created within the last year and a half. It's almost like there's an equation to it or a methodology to it that these people, they start eating a keto or carnivore diet, they lose weight in the first 2 weeks or the first month, and then they decide, I'm going to turn a camera on and share what's going on with my diet. And so from month 2 till month 9, they're showing this incredible weight loss transformation because they're eating a huge calorie deficit. They're putting their body into ketosis. I put my body into ketosis. I lost 90 pounds of the 255 pounds that I lost through ketosis while I fasted when I started this. So I've lost weight through ketosis too, but they stretch out this fasting because that's what they're doing. They're fasting from natural food, they're from real foods, and they're able to extend this fast to 9 to 10 months because they're eating this meat products to help supplement their calories, to help get them going day to day. But, and what happens though after that year is, or even by the end of the year, and it had happened to me too on this diet, is stuff slows down. Stuff gets tough. It gets hard to keep losing weight. And with the keto diet, the only options is to exercise more, which all of them or many of them are exercising 3 to 5 times a week, or it's eat less food. And the other thing that they've all been doing for the 9 or 10 months is eating less food than they should. So they're already eating a smaller volume diet than they should. They're already working out harder than they need to be. And they hit that 9, 10 month, 12 month frame. And then they have to make a choice. They have to choose if they want to stay on this diet, either to work out harder or to eat less food or to do both. And the idea of that is crushing. That's, you know, that for me, that you know, I was taking an appetite suppressant, but once I quit taking that appetite suppressant, the idea of continuing on with that low volume diet, it became unthinkable. It was like, I'll take a break, you know, and I think a lot of them do. I'll take a break for a little while. I'll just take a break and then I'll come back to it. I already lost 70 pounds. I already lost 100 pounds this year. But it always catches up. Chronically undereating will catch up to you, just like chronically undersleeping will catch up to you, and chronically overexerting yourself will catch up to you as well. And so that was a big part of my goals with this diet and this channel. I want to lose the weight without having to go to the gym 5 times a week. I want to lose the weight while still being able to eat a lot of food, and it's working for me so far. So I'm happy with that. Let's see. Cindy here says that Mediterranean diet is getting a big push lately. Animal products, dairy, and alcohol. You don't see what's great about that either. They just have more money to lobby. That's what it comes down to, like these animal products. I think that Carrie mentioned something to me yesterday about some of the nutritional recommendations that they're giving over in Europe now are really pushing people away from the keto diet, that they're not they're not promoting people eat the keto diet or saying it's not that healthy. Let's see. Janet asked if we're getting the warnings about Veg Fest. We have been looking at going. And so Carrie says, "Oh, saw your message. It must be about the food at Veg Fest." Yeah, we won't eat there. We'll take some purse potatoes or pocket potatoes, and we'll take care of our own food. So I'm not too worried about the food at the Veg Fest. If we go to Veg Fest this weekend, the number one reason in my mind why we would go to Veg Fest this weekend is for our kids. To take them somewhere where everybody around us is like-minded when it comes to diet. So that's why we would probably go down to the Veg Fest, just for them to be able to, because they're really, for the last 2 years of their lives, whenever we go to a restaurant, whenever we go out to eat, whenever we go anywhere, it's always been, can I have this? Is this okay? And it almost feels like we have to be the keeper of their diet. And we are, because we're their parents. But when we were traveling through St. Louis last year in June, we stopped at a vegan restaurant. And it was really nice, the stuff had oil but it was kind of a healthy vegan restaurant. It wasn't like Impossible Meats and things like that. It was all plant-based, but they had oils and sugars on them. And our kids were so happy. Like, even if the foods were not, chicken tenders and French fries and hamburgers, they were just happy to be able to be like, so anything on this menu I can pick from. And so that would be what our push for going to Veg Fest would be. Plants Only Muncher here says in reference to the skin removal, that they agree that waiting a year for the surgery to make you maintain your weight. Yeah, I think that they may make people maintain their weight for a year. But I would, like I said, I would want it to be a point where it's like, wow, you're really low body fat percentage before I did it. I see videos of people having skin removal surgery, and you see these big hunks of skin that have fat attached. I think that they could get skinnier before they have the surgery. Plants Only Muncher says that one of Chef AJ's followers, Heather Goodwin, lost 300 pounds on her program and gained it back. She lost 300 pounds on Chef AJ's program and then gained all 300 pounds back. That sucks, and that I oh my God. Yeah, I worry about that. Sure. But the more days I chain together, the less I worry about it. And again, I'm still pushing, like I'm not letting off the gas. Like, I don't know many people that would be at this point that wouldn't be letting off the gas, wouldn't be like, oh, okay, and I did let off the gas, I guess, back in year 2. Now we're in year 3. But I got back on it. And I never was that far off, like it was very rare that I ever had 2 meals that were off plan when I was off, very rarely that I had 2 meals in a week that were off plan, but even having 1 or 2 meals a week that were off program slowed my weight loss down, caused me not to lose weight near as fast as I hoped. So yeah, there is always that fear that I could gain it back. And so I definitely want to make sure I got it figured out, because I'd hate to jump the gun on that. Cindy here says, no need to try the keto diet. You'll never poop again in your life. Yeah. You definitely poop on this diet. Let's see. Janet here says they're full of sugar, fat, salt, and oil. You're taking all your own foods this weekend to the Seattle Veg Fest. You're working the whole festival. They may be vegan, but they are not SOFAs free. Yeah, we didn't intend them to be SOFAs free. Or even SOS free, I mean, there might be, there was a farmer's market in town I went to a year ago, and I was surprised I was able to have a smoothie because they just use water and frozen fruit. So there might be some places that have something like that we might be able to grab. But Rochelle says, hate watching ? You can't watch keto. Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing me and Carrie have talked about. I coined it, like I watch these. The ones that frustrate me the most are the ones that get the following very quickly after doing a little bit of work. And then they start talking as if they're experts in the field. Like, I've been doing this for 921 days. I don't know a GD thing about plant-based diets compared to many of the people that watch this, many of the people in the world. I know a lot more than many people, but I know a lot less than many people. And what I see a lot of these people that are on those diets is that they do them for 3 months and they're like, I got it figured out. I can do it the rest of my life. This is what you do. This is the most sustainable diet I've ever been on because it lasted 3 months. And I'm like, it's not sustainable. You can't say sustainable till you're at 5 years. Like, I think that should be the thing. I think that you can't say that your diet is sustainable until you've been on your diet for 5 years. Then you can say it's a sustainable diet. But anything less than that's a fad. And many times, most of us are only doing these diets for 2 weeks or a month. And so when they're able to reach the 3-month mark or the 4-month mark, they are further along than they ever got before, but that doesn't make them an expert. It doesn't make them know what health is. And where are these people a year later? Like, I want to see videos of people who lost weight on keto diet from 4 years ago. And then I want to talk to those people today. And I want those people to say that it's been nothing but sunshine and rainbows since 4 years ago. Because I don't think it'll happen. I don't think that I'm sure there's outliers. There's few people out there that have done it, but I don't think the majority of the people have done it. Yeah, Carrie says with Veg Fest, we're definitely not going for the food. We'll pack food packets for ourselves. Cindy here says, John, you're working up a sweat talking about keto. I know, like I said, I need to start a whole channel. It's really frustrating. Like, it just, because I did it. I tried the low calorie, tried the low carb. I tried these diets, and it's unsustainable. It's not, I don't believe that a majority of people can do it because it's so low volume. It's so low volume. I did low volume. I did it so many times. That's how I tried to lose weight every single time, was low volume. So, and they say, oh, you get to eat till you're full. No, you get to eat till you're sick of eating that. I don't ever get sick of eating potatoes and broccoli. I could eat potatoes and broccoli until it comes out of my ears. But yeah, it's just, and the idea of, Cindy, I think, talked about, eating a 70 to 80% fat diet. The idea that adding fat to a fat system is going to help remove the fat is ridiculous. If you have a shirt factory where you make button-down shirts, and your storerooms are filled with buttons and they're overflowing your storerooms and they're coming out and they're on the counters and they're on the tables and they're in storage containers in the back of the building, why would you keep ordering buttons? Why, if you want to get rid of the buttons, you would stop ordering buttons. I want to get rid of the fat. I'm going to stop bringing fat in. That's what you do. You don't continue to add more fat and think that it's just going to help flush the system out. Oh, well, what we'll do is just double the number of buttons we put on shirts, but you're still ordering the buttons. Let's see. Janet says that for Veg Fest, she is taking a cooler to keep in the van so she can keep her salads and sauces cool. That's awesome. Carrie said, I referenced before, it was the European recommendations for diabetes is leaning away from a ketogenic diet, is what Carrie was telling me earlier. And I would, no doubt there's short-term benefits to a keto diet, but I believe that those short-term benefits come from removing processed foods from your diet. These people that are eating keto, the people that are eating carnivore, people that are eating Mediterranean, people eating whole food, plant-based, the common denominator in all diets is the removal of processed foods or a great reduction in the volume of processed foods that you eat. There are some diet programs out there. I think the one that I don't know if it still exists, but I know there's a company, it was called like Optavia, something like that, that they sell these snack packets where you have 5 snacks a day in a meal, and all 5 of those snacks are highly processed snacks. And then you eat one real meal. Even that is a reduced processed diet. You're probably still eating fewer processed foods as a whole. The percentage of your diet that is processed might not change, but you're eating less food. So, so what was I talking about? I don't even remember. Optavia, processing, all these diets. Yes. The common denominator is removing the processed foods. Remove processed foods, you're going to lose weight. The more you remove processed foods, the longer you remove the processed foods, the more weight you're going to lose and the longer you're going to lose weight. That's what it comes down to. And that's my whole goal right now, is to get my diet as unprocessed as possible. We'll deal with cutting it up ourselves. Carrie just bought a new vegetable dicer because she got sick of chopping everything up with a knife, because we're processing our own foods. We make our food. We don't let other people make it for us. Let's see. Karen says, Plants Only Muncher. The other reason that Karen didn't get the surgery was that they wanted to make sure that you kept it off. And then Carrie's talking about the restaurant that we went to down in St. Louis. It was called Seeds. It was really amazing. If you are in the St. Louis area and you do eat salt, oil, or sugar, I do recommend you check out Seeds. It was really good. And for the kids, it was exciting for them to be able to order anything off of the menu. Let's see. Somebody's saying Heather did not gain it all back. What did that say? Heather did not gain it all back, but pretty girl's mom. She didn't gain all 300 pounds back. She gained 209. Okay. You meant to say 200. Okay. So for my reaction on the video here, Heather had lost 300 pounds. Pretty girl's mom said she didn't gain it all back. She gained about 290 pounds or so. So that's why I was laughing. But then she corrected it that it was 200 pounds. If it was 290, the reason I laughed is because, yes, she was 10 pounds away. 200 wasn't there, but that was tough. And like Carrie says here, yeah, that must have been devastating for her. Plants Only Muncher says you can check out Heather Goodwin on a few of Chef AJ's videos, and she has her own YouTube channel called the Butterfly Effect Plant-Based. I think I've seen her YouTube channel. I might even be following her YouTube channel. Is she very active on it right now? I don't know. Or was she ever active on it, I guess would be. But I feel like I was following something that was the Butterfly Effect. So it's good win, right? Butterfly Effect. I am subscribed to Karen Goodwin Butterfly Effect. So yeah, that sucks that she gained some of that weight back. I'm hoping that she's able to get figured out what she's looking for. Barb here says that Heather is such a sweet and kind lady. She is severely food addicted and has struggled with maintaining a whole food, plant-based, salt, oil, sugar-free diet. She has lessons to offer and she shares them willingly. That's great, and that's something that our minds are wild, like from the outside, I'm looking at her thinking, man, she lost 300 pounds. She got to the promised land. How can she let it go? But it's not as simple as that, and I did this, like in 2013, I lost 115 pounds. I thought I made it to the promised land, but there was things I still needed to learn and figure out. And it took me a decade to figure them out. So, hopefully she is able to work towards just eating more whole foods, like just trying to reduce the processing. Karen said that you did low carb and you had a stroke. That is awful. I hope that, yeah, that's awful. You think it was from the low carb diet, or was it just because you weren't eating enough? Yeah, that's crazy. Or I guess maybe a lot of times low carb means high fat, high animal protein, and that might have caused it. Pretty Girl's mom says you really enjoy following Heather on her channel. Yeah, I think I've been subscribed. Okay, I do know. Yeah, I've seen her videos. It's been a couple months since she's posted any videos. I didn't know until now, though, that she was lighter than she is. Ever since I've been following her, she was kind of on the heavier side. So I didn't realize that she was actually someone who had lost the weight and then was gaining up. Carrie says she is out of here right now. Yes. We're having polenta with mushrooms and white beans for dinner. And she remembered the beans. Oh my, I'm going to have to get out of here, get home and get those beans. No, actually I'm going a little bit long today. I'll get off here in a minute, but we have dog training tonight. So I got to meet Carrie over at the place where we're doing the dog training tonight. So I'm going to get out of here in a little bit. Let's see here. Karen says it's removing processed foods and refined sugar. Yes, that's, I consider refined sugar processed food. So that was in that ball for me. Yes. Yes. Get rid of the processed foods. I really think that that's the start of any diet, any weight loss success. The reason why I lost my early weight, the reason why everybody loses their early weight is because they're removing that processed food, because processing adds additional calories, adds additional salt, oil, and sugar to foods that don't need additional salt, sugar, or oil. Jennifer says that 8 months into eating this way, it's the second time that she's been eating this way. And after her water fast, you just found out that you can reduce your thyroid medicine. That is awesome that you're able to get your medicines down. That was a win-win. You have never heard of keto helping reduce medicines. Now I have. People have claimed to have cured their diabetes or their pre-diabetes, or they've gone off medicines. Losing the weight is what caused them to go off the medicine, though. I don't know that it was the food. And a lot of times I think the food that they're eating probably slows down. They might have been able to get off the medicine sooner if they weren't eating those foods. So I've heard people say that the keto diet has reduced medicines, but not like this diet. Like, Yeah. In fact, it's something like with this diet, a lot of times, the experts that I've been following have really pushed that you need to be in communication with your doctor if you're going to change your diet this dramatically, because it's going to dramatically affect how the medicines that you're taking affect your body. And so if you are taking medicines and you do make a diet change like this, you need to be aware of that it's going to have an effect on your medicines, and you may have to adjust them or consult your doctor to adjust them. Plants Only Muncher says that she's not very active on her channel. And says here that Heather has lost weight again in the past several months, but has not posted in a while. That's really good to hear that she's doing well on it. And, that she is, trying to make herself better and figure it out. Like, this is all a learning game. I talked about it yesterday. It takes time to AJ Vintage says, congrats on losing 4 more pounds. Thanks, AJ. Thanks for all of the support. I'm very happy with the weight loss today. But it's all about becoming more knowledgeable about the way we're eating and more educated. And, eventually I want to get, my pro card as a whole food plant-based dieter, but I can't get that professional card until it takes time to get there. And even when you think you have it figured out, you can still have relapses. You can still have issues that come up. And even when you think you're an expert at it, or the world's, I'm sure she had great comments for people about how wonderful she was doing. Even with all of that support, it still is difficult to continue to be a pro at something, to keep up at it. And so, but I also, I'm happy that I have this example now for me to look at and be like, this is what I don't want for myself. And so, how can I avoid that? So, let's see here. Yeah. And then, she's been off and on. Yeah. Like I said, I knew the name, the butterfly effect. When you guys wrote that, I knew I had seen that name. And I'm sure that I use this channel for accountability. And when I go to get on the scale and my weight is up, or when I know I haven't been doing perfect, it makes it more difficult to hold myself accountable and get on here and do these live streams. And for me, I think that what has helped is that I make this part of my routine. I make it part of my day, so I don't have an excuse or a reason to skip, or a reason to push it off till later. If it's something, well, every day that I can go live at 4, I'm going to go live at 4, then it keeps me doing it, and then when I don't go live, like last Friday, I don't get upset about it, because I know I'm going to go back and get on. But I think I need to get out of here. I definitely need to get out of here. So thank you guys so much for the support. 4 pounds this week was amazing. Almost 5 pounds this week. Or it was just over 4 pounds. Yeah, I'll round it up to almost 5. But 4 pounds weight loss this week. Very happy with that. Hopefully I can continue this weight loss train. I am 5.4 pounds away from being half the man I was when I started this challenge. I don't imagine that I'm going to see this in the next week or even 2 weeks, but my body may surprise me. Barb here says to be a pro, that they've had to continually stay in contact with others who follow this way of eating, and that is mostly through YouTube here with me and books. Yes. Yeah, you got to keep the education going. You got to keep the motivation up. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, get subscribed to the channel. If you haven't clicked on the bell icon, click on that bell icon so you get alerted when I go live or post new videos. If you have not, hit the thumbs up on this video, like this video. What are you waiting for? We're an hour and 15 minutes in. You should have hit it an hour and 14 minutes ago. So hit that like button. And if you have not started your diet yet, get started right now. There's nothing coming up that's more important than your health or your overall well-being. I just had my birthday this past weekend. I lost 4 pounds because my birthday wasn't more important than my health or my overall well-being. And so just remember that. Nothing is more important than your ability to live longer, your ability to stay around for your family, for your friends, to experience this world. Eating horrible food is killing us. So change what you eat, change your future. You guys all have a wonderful evening. I will talk to you tomorrow.